Hey YouTube, it's Captain Jax here. So, I haven't made a lot of videos in a while. I did update recently a deck profile on Grand Blue, which I did forget to mention, and also because he hopped on it. Person who actually helped build the deck list for me for the Grand Blue deck. But like he doesn't like Grand Blues, but I love Grand Blues. So yeah, he technically built the deck. Built the deck list. I built the deck. If that makes sense. So my friend Mike did it, so yeah, there we go. Happy? I said it. He was bogging me with it. So today I'm here to do a deck profile on my Katana World deck that I've been working on for a while. I've been playing Katana World for Buddy Fight for how long now? For like since Ninjas came out in the US. So yeah, so my flag and my buddy is Nano Machine Tsukiko. These things are expensive as fuck. Deck costs around a lot of money. So yeah, here we go. For my size 1s, 4 Nano Machine Ninja Tsukiko. Basically what he does is he's a size 1, 521. You dump a dump a non-ninja card, a non-monster card from your hand to the drop zone, and when he would be destroyed, he is not destroyed. That does not mean penetrate does not go through. You still get penetrated, and you still get shadow striked or shadow sneak, whatever it is. The move that Darkness Dragon World has, the ability Darkness Dragon World has. He's pretty good. Free 5k beat stick. Next, for Electron Ninja Shiden. I run 4 of him because his draw power. He's basically the draw power of the deck. You pay 1 gauge, dump a ninjutsu art from your hand, which is the impact spells, in the deck to draw 2 cards. He builds consistency in the deck. He lets you dig through the deck for the cards you need really fast. You only can use this effect once per turn, though. He's a size 1, 3/1/1. So yeah. If it weren't for his ability, he would not be run at all. His stats are really weak. Next, you got 4 Electron Ninja Electric Teru. Size 1, 3/1/2. When his attack hits, you gauge 1. It's very good for this deck because this deck runs on gauge. The deck engine is the gauge. You more than half the cards in the deck need gauge to use. So for him is amazing. Is good. If you start with him first turn in your hand, you attack with him, gauge 1, and him with Clear Serenity is still really good, and it's enough gauge to get you through the game. You may end up finding yourself running out of gauge, but like you stall out enough with your nullifiers to be able to build up the gauge. That's it for my size 1s. Onto my size 2s, I run 3 Electric Speed Ninja Inzumina. I don't even know how to say his name. I just call him Iron Jaeger because he looks like he's from Attack on Titan. This card is amazing. It's a 4/2/3, size 2, pay 1 gauge, and it has double attack. That is so freaking good for this deck. This deck needed this card. The size 2s are so good. He's so good. I'm thinking, not sure, 100%, but I might bump him up to 4, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to do some testing and see how I feel about it. But this card is so good. It's what ninjas needed to get their game going. Ninjas have got so much good support in the newest set. It's not even funny. It just made them so good. They have answers for days. There are so many builds out there now. There's There's water, there's burn, and then there's my ninja bonus. I consider control, beatdown, dot deck. So yeah. So next create size 2. I run 2 Agent Ninja Linzo. Pay 1 gauge. This card lets you search out super lethal or original lethal from your deck, and it's a 3/2/6. You sit on him for a while, making your opponent link attack over him, or having to target him with a spell to destroy him. And in doing so, you can activate lethal to destroy that, to nullify the spell and slow them down even more. Size 3, I run 2 Wander to the Gold. I know people have a lot of hate on this card, but I feel this card is really good. It's pay 2 gauge. It's a Regeki on drug. It's a Regeki in monster form. If you guys play Yu-Gi-Oh, you would know what I mean by that. And then for every card it destroys, your opponent takes 1 damage. So if there's 3 monsters in the field and it destroys 3 monsters, it does 3 damage to your opponent. It's pretty good. Next, I run 4 Onimaru. Onimaru help. The reason you run Onimaru is because even though it gets 3 attacks, it's a 6/3. It gets over the monsters your opponent has with high defense that your ninjas can't usually get over. So it really comes in handy, and it's a really, I feel like it's a staple at 4 for ninjas these days, because it's the best weapon for ninjas right now. As you can see, a lot of my deck cards are hollowed, and I'm in the process of hollowing everything out that is being able to be hollowed, because I'm a tryhard. Next, you run 4 basic nullifiers. If not a link attack, just nullify. Then you run 4 promo nullifiers. This card is a staple for every Katana World deck. I am sorry, but it is. I know it may be hard to find, but I feel like this card is needed in any Katana World deck. When I first started playing, I'm like, oh no, I don't need that card. Oh, but I did. I really did. This card, when your center is wide open and you do not have lethal, you need this card. You're open for link attacks. You'll say, oh, that guy doesn't have the link attack nullifier. But if you get this, you do. Your center is wide open with your weapon all the time if you have your weapon on the field. So this card is amazing for the deck, and is a staple at 4 or 3 for every Katana World deck. I hate to say it, but it is. Next, 4 Clear Serenity. Basic, most broken gauge card in this game. Just gauge 3 for free. Once per turn. Gauge 3. Good card. Amazing card in the deck. Most amazing freaking spell in the game. Most amazing gauge spell in the game. 4 Hades Falls. Trap hole for the deck. Pay a gauge. Put a card under it. When your opponent summons a monster with the same size as the card under it, pop it, deal 2 damage. Doesn't even pop it. Just deal 2 damage. If they save it, oh well, deal 2 damage. Okay. It's pretty. It's freaking. This card is a staple at 4 or 3 for every Katana World deck. I don't care what people say. It is a staple. Don't you forget it. You need it. Love it. Learn it. This card is amazing. I see people running at 3. That's player reference. That's player preference. I like to run it at 4 because it's just that good. Next, you got 2 Strum Scrolls. I was running this at first, but then I realized, oh wait, why am I running this? This is plus for days. This card, you pay 1 gauge, it gives you second hand. Okay, you put freaking Clear Serenity under this. Okay, I can activate from Soul. Pay a gauge, and then activate Clear Serenity. You're not going minus by playing this card. Trust me, you're not, because this card just gives you. It's like a second hand. You put your ninjutsu arts under here, activate them from under there, and then draw a card. So good. 2 Heat Haze. I'm not sure, but I might bump this up to 3. I'm still doing testing on that too. Basically, put this under the soul of a ninja that's size 2, and give it move and soul guard. Really good. Next, I run 3 super lethals and 1 OG lethal. The reason I'm running 3 of these and 1 of these and not 4 of these is because yes, this card gives you power, but like you don't need to run 3. 3 ends up to be clogging up your gauge, causing you to lose all your gauge. So you put the OG one, and if you have like not enough gauge to activate these, you activate Linzo, search for this, and just activate it. Just in case you don't have enough gauge at that time and place. So yeah. And also 4 lethals is amazing. Next, for the rest of my impacts, I run 2 of the spell nullifiers because 2 of the spell nullifiers because of all the spells, and just in case in your gauge, because it will end up in your gauge. You search from your deck and put in the soul of your weapon, and you just pay 3 gauge, nullify spell, and deal 3 damage. Next, you got the Morning Star, which destroys a monster who attacks with 2,000 attack or 3,000 attack or lower. Comet, that destroys monsters that attack with 5,000 and higher, and Glittering Star, which destroys nullifies a link attack, deals 5 damage. So basically, that's my deck profile. Tell me guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.